Hey everyone, welcome to Second Sight Tarot, a branch of wellness. I am here to do the collective reading for the new moon on July 9th, 2021. I already meditated on the cards. Please remember that this is a general reading for the collective for new moon energy. So let's get started. I already pulled a couple of cards just from the meditation. I'm going to pull a couple more and then get started. Let me start that over. I hope everyone is well. Enjoying the warmer months if you're on the East Coast. West Coast is always enjoying. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more. One more and then we'll get started. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, nice. All right. At the bottom of the deck, beginnings, new beginnings. Well, that's appropriate for a new moon energy, but and it says new moon, so that's beautiful. New moon beginnings. It's a 2. There is a lot of change coming, a lot of transformation, a lot of new beginnings. Of course, it's our choice to do these things and to really reflect and release things that no longer serve us. But this is definitely new moon energy. It's coming up clear as the beginning card. And also surrendering to what is and really recognizing the path that we're on. So this is subconscious stuff, the underlining stuff. Really paying attention to new paths coming in, although we have decisions and choices to make during this time. There are also opportunities that are missed if we're not ready to see them and perceive them. So there's this person here standing next to a ladder that's going up to this new opportunity, but she's just pondering. Maybe she doesn't know it's there, or maybe they're just realizing that they're kind of comfortable where they are and they're not willing to kind of go up. Maybe just analyzing what that means for you and if that resonates with you at all. It's also an 8, which is compassion, self-confidence, self-discipline. I'm trying to think of what else the 8s are for. Inner wisdom. So it's about right now of connecting with your inner self and really realizing where you want to go, what you want to do, what you want to bring in, what you want to release. Because remember, you always need to release energy in order for you to have the capacity to take on new energy. So it's also a love number 8 and compassion and infinite energy. So it's just a matter of actually seeing it and being aware that it is even existing or the possibility of it, and surrendering to all of this energy, which is also another 8. So it's the same type of energy. Really surrendering to what is being offered to you and not being too complacent or comfortable where you are in your life or a situation or a relationship or whatever this means to you. And just allowing the universe to kind of offer you the things that you've been asking for all this time. And are you willing to accept that? Are you willing to go with the flow? Are you willing to change? Are you willing to collect the offerings that you've worked for? This is your energy being put out that's coming back to you now. So maybe just offering, I'm offering you, or the cards are offering you to just look at that and see if that's something that you are acknowledging that is there. So really good overall beginning of the reading. We also have a couple of these cards. The overall essence of the reading that I pulled cards beforehand, the Hermit, which is really interesting because doing their meditation, I felt like this sense of going inward. And you also have the Hangman here in the position of the emotions and what we can release and what we can bring in emotionally. So it is a time of kind of going in, reflecting, isolation, a time to think, stepping back. And I know a lot of us feel like we've been in that space for a while, or maybe, well, this is current energy, so that's where we are. But this is inviting you to do this for new moon energy, if that's, if you're accepting of that, and just really reflecting on what we've been talking about, the beginning parts of this, the surrendering, like really seeing a new opportunity, a new path, making new choices and changing some things that in your life that no longer serve you. And it's just a place to think about those things and really reflect on them, and bring them in the mind's eye, like really bringing them in the forefront so they can take flight and take action, when you are ready to come out of that hermit mode. So that's what this energy is asking you. And the will. This is asking you to have will. For me, every single time I get this card, it's a 4, which is stability, and having stability in having the will to do things and stepping up, standing in your own and really stepping up to the plate. But for me, she's holding this like big ball of light here, and I always connect this to the energy of the throat, of having the will to speak your truth, having the will to speak, to understand other people's truths, not only just the way you deliver it, but the way you perceive things too. So it's just about really connecting with your will, and if you're really willing to move forward and accept change at its fullest capacity, at your highest vibration. And that's the whole goal of this new moon. So really planting seeds, manifesting things, resting. Your new moon energy is like beginning something new, whatever that may be, creating a sacred space for yourself in your house or your workspace, or just a sacred space internally of where you want to sit and contemplate and be in that hermit mode. Maybe you're writing or setting your intentions and speaking them outward. Maybe I think that's kind of resonating with me with, finding stability within this, but also being okay with the universe kind of gathering what you've asked for in its own way, and being okay with how that comes forward towards you. So sometimes I light a candle and ask for things that I want to receive on the new moon, which I will be doing. Maybe taking a ritual bath with crystals and essential oils, and also salt. Really, this is a recharging mode, and I think that's part of the hermit energy, is all about recharging, resetting, resting, contemplating, really thinking things as they are, and taking the time to really see them as a whole, as its whole part. So really beautiful. So I love new moon energy more so than full moon energy. I love them both for different reasons, but new moon energy to me is a little lighter and softer, not so dramatic, not so outward. It's more of this inward hermit mode. It's kind of what I'm getting. So you also have the Death card as the overall essence of the reading. This is because there's a lot of transformation coming right now. There's a lot of things happening. There's lots of change. There's lots of reflecting. There's lots of decision making. This is about like stripping away the old layer or the old ways to make way for the new, things that I love these cards. So I think Tarot of the Abyss, I think this is Tarot of the Abyss. She's like coming out from the rooting of a tree, and then all of these things are kind of shattering, or I want to say, or like opening up and like shedding inside of her. And that's exactly what the Death card is. It doesn't mean death itself, although it may, but like the death of a relationship, maybe somebody passing on or whatever, maybe. But for the most part, this is about transformation. And it's on a deep level. It's on a very grounded, deep-seated level of transformation, not just like, it could be just like a job opportunity and you change jobs, or there's a transition there, or there's like a death of a situation that you thought was one thing and became another. This, very possible, but I feel like this is more deep-seated, something like a layer being pulled off of you, and something being seen from within that's on a deeper level than before. And very grounding at the end of it. So I'm going to pull one more card as we go along, but I'm going to start this. So we have the World. It's a very cool card. It's a snake in the infinity sign followed by a baby, has a baby and an eye. I feel like the passions and all of the hard work, all these things that you've been doing for a while now, or you've been planting, and all of the answers that you're seeking out right now, are going to be coming to you during this transformation. It's also asking you, this card also asks you to be direct in the way that you are asking for it, but how you ask for it too. You know, like, is it coming from a desperation, or is it coming from pain, or is it coming from a very collected, calm, kind of like the essence of the Death card, where I feel like she's very grounded in this change, this transformation. It's very deep-seated. I feel like, is it coming from something that is truly unique and truly authentic within yourself? But just being careful of how you ask for it, as well as what you're asking for. That's kind of, but these things are coming to you now. Like, this is the time where they're coming. So along with that is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is all about, it's another thing. It's like bringing this great creative potential to you now. You're really creating this. And I think that some of the things from this, from the world, like some of the things that you've been planting, and like all of these things, all this hard work that you've been doing, all this passion that you've been putting towards something, you know, now you're actually, you're seeing it. You know, these answers that you're seeking are coming true. I kind of told that with the world, but they're kind of together. That's what I'm reading them together. So, but I think it's a time where all of these things are coming to fruition, and now you're really being direct, and or it's asking you to be direct if you're not, and really be specific about what you want. And manifestation of something, it's like you're really honing in on this energy. Just be specific and be confident in what you're asking for, because it will come. So, and then we have resilience, I'm sorry. This is all about being threes are creativity, but it's also paying attention to the spiritual world. You know, really connecting, optimism, communication, the way you're communicating. But resilience, this is saying like all of you have all of this hard work that you. If I'm reading them all together, I feel like all of this hard work that you've been carrying all this time, all of this work that you've been putting into making something shift, it's coming to the point where now things are going to be starting to lift off and lighten up for you. So during the new moon energy, maybe asking yourself, you know, what are ways of me making things light, or asking yourself like what you can take, what burdens you can take, and what all of these life lessons that you're carrying on your back, like what can you do to relieve some of that load, to make up new energy, space for new energy, and releasing things that you don't want anymore. So although you are resilient and you are strong enough to carry all of these things, why do we have to do that? Why can't we lighten the load in order to have an easier transition into certain things? You know, some of these things are old patterns. They're things that you needed to see at the time that they were there, and now they're not there anymore because you've moved past it. You've learned from it. So maybe asking yourself what you could release, what you can let go of now, what you don't need anymore. So this new energy, this new moon energy, can bring in something and allow you to have rest, really deep-seated rest and restoration and recouping from all of these things that you've been doing. So I invite you to maybe journal, or to maybe connect with yourself enough to see if there's something that is just old and ancient and not dead, but dry, passed on, expired, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting. So I'm going to pull one more, and then we'll move on. Growth period. I do think it's funny because the world is all about that, and so there's a baby in there that's growing, and there's something, all of this stuff will be renewed. You know, there's a renewal coming, and rewarded. All your hard work is going to be rewarded coming up. And then you have this energy, which the Knight of Swords, which is all about like your answers to what you're seeking are coming. So reward is coming for your hard work. The answers are coming, but make sure you're specific in the way that you're asking it, and how you're asking it, what you're asking and how you're asking, to make sure that you're getting exactly what you are ready for or want. And then having the resilience to sustain this, but really checking in with yourself to see if you can release some of this stuff. And then you have overcoming limitations and like really growing through this. So this is a very beautiful current energy for the collective, for this new moon energy. There is a lot of growth. There's a lot of newness. There's a lot of rewards for hard work. But it's also asking you to be creative in ways to release things so you can really raise that vibrational quality of what you're asking for without being tied down or heavy from all of the energy that you've had from the past still on you. So really nice energy though. So here we have in the how you can move through intellect and communication, you have the Knight of Wands. If I can pick it up. It's cool energy here. So the Knight of Wands is also about bringing creative potential and not being afraid of a challenge, you know, like really putting yourself out there. Really involving yourself completely in something, a situation, an event, a project, kind of going for what you want and being excited about a situation or whatever this is talking about for you. In the extreme of this energy, though, it can be more like daredevilish and like reckless. So it's just being careful. And this could be you or someone else around you that you're seeing. So just being careful where you put this energy and make sure that it's like safe energy, or not safe because you can take risks, but just being sure that it's not so extreme. We always want to have like this balance between extreme and deficient, right? So, or not right, but you know what I'm saying. Or no. I don't know. I just feel like this sense of something that you are really connecting with, like wanting to really dive into something and not being afraid of doing this. It might be challenging of creating something really interesting for you, or a situation that might pan out that might lead to other things. So it's a matter of taking risks. It's also being cautious not to be overly risky or overly reckless or being a daredevil. I think it's a cool card. I need to analyze this a little bit more. But it is about having a lot of creative potential in whatever you are working with right now, this passion that you have. And this is also about releasing, which is a 9. 9ers are all about wisdom and responsibility, really serving humanity, you know, or really connecting with humanity. It's earthly lessons, forgivers. 9s are forgivers, people who forgive, or maybe this is asking you to forgive, so that old energy can release and maybe bring in some new energy of new potential for relationships or connections of some sort. So this is about releasing heart space in this card for me. Releasing things that we've really connected to the heart chakra, and maybe just freeing up some of this energy, even if it's good energy, just like kind of opening up this heart space and just allowing things to leave, so we can make new for all of this other amazing potential and growth coming up. You know, I always find that there's got to be a fine balance of releasing and receiving, and this is how you communicate. You know, the Knight of Wands, having this creative potential and you know, really involving yourself in situation. This is also how you communicate it too, not just what you're actually physically doing. You know, how are you articulating it? How are you expressing it to the universe, to yourself, to someone? or how someone's expressing things to you and how you're perceiving them in order for you to be completely involved in a situation or something. So this is all about being really like releasing this energy in the form of communication, specifically in this category, so, or position. Freedom, spread your wings. It's interesting because it's exactly the release card to me. This is about freeing and opening yourself up. They're both very similar to the point where one is expanding outward and the other one's flying. So this is a time where you speak your truth. You speak up. You release things that are stuck here. You know, and I did say this about the throat chakra or the throat energy with the will card. You know, I feel like we found this stability or this, like it could be stagnation too, of like not speaking our truth and being comfortable in that comfort zone of like never speaking our truth or never hearing somebody's truth, only hearing what we perceive of it. So it's really asking you to speak out, release this stuff from the heart, from the throat, because this is in communication. So it can be both. And just free yourself and really open up and expand and see what comes in. See what new opportunities come in, creative potentials, all this kind of stuff will come in. If you believe and if you allow this energy to expand outward, out of your arc field, you know? So, very cool energy. In the next position is emotions you can connect with and or release. And you have the gratitude card. So this is about what you can connect with, obviously. It's a 2 and a 3. It's a 5. And 5s are all about finding balance, having change, freedom, curiosity about something new, like really looking inward about the things that you're grateful for. I know I just did that today. I felt really grateful going into my space of work. And I love what I do. And I was just feeling so grateful for having that opportunity to help people and to help them help themselves. You know, it's really beautiful. So what are you grateful for? You know, and this is about emotional stability here. This is your connection to your emotions. Like really connect during the new moon and say like, or from now until the new moon. I'm going to be releasing this a couple days before. Really connect and see what you're grateful for. Maybe you're doing a gratitude journal or writing down some stuff that you really are grateful for. Your space, your job, your thoughts, your friends, your parents, like whatever you're grateful for, because that reconnects us into being present, first of all. Second of all, it really connects us with being in our own skin and, you know, not always looking at the negative aspects of things, because that could be very easily done. So we're always, it's the Hanged One, which is the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is all about like creative thinking. It could be creative thinking. It's a 12. I think this is a time of stillness because of the transformation and the Hermit. They're very similar. One of them is seeing things in a new perspective. You know, the Hanged Man or Hanged One is about seeing things in a new perspective than you did before. One of them is really contemplating and going inward to really be discerning internally. So they're both going inward energies. One of them is just to see things in a different way. It could mean stagnation too. Maybe you've been in hermit mode a little too long and now it's time to get out for some of you, because this could be stagnation if it's on the extremes. So just checking yourself where you're at. If you feel like a hermit because of what's been going on all this time, it's time to get the hell out of your skin and do something fun, lighten up the load, seeing things in a different way, even if it's going for a walk and doing something you never did before, like, I don't know, taking pictures of stuff that you would never take pictures of with your phone, or looking at flowers that you'd never looked at, just looking at things at a different perspective, or just through a different lens, like, you know, fake it till you make it. Put a smile on instead of a frown. I don't know. It depends on who you are and where you're at right now, but it's, for some of you, it's time to get out of this hermit mode. For some of you, it's time to get in and reflect for the new moon energy and see what you really want to manifest, depending on where you are. So I'm going to pull one more for that. Whoa. Interesting. Listen, silence your mind and pay attention. That's very interesting because it's the Hanged Man. It's the same card. It's telling you to go inward. Really seeing things from a different perspective, or just seeing things for what they are, not just from what you think they are. Really being attentive to what's going on. And being still and really listening makes you grateful, because it brings you right into center and present moment. So really, and this is emotions. So these are the emotions that you connect with, like really listening. This can be listening to someone else. This could be listening to your inner thoughts and feelings, and the way you're feeling about something, the way your what emotions come up with certain situations, or about something specific, or the new moon energy, like maybe wanting to release something that has been hurting you for so long, or that has been bringing you pain. Forgiveness. We talked about the forgiver. Or I talked about it in my mind. I don't know. Oh, I also wanted to talk about because I pulled the Hermit from this deck, the White Witch. At the bottom of the deck, there were some really beautiful cards. We had the Sun, which is the best card in the deck. And this is about this growth period, really healing period, nurturing yourself. A time to reflect and to really appreciate the things, that this inner illumination that is coming forth. I don't know, like brighter days ahead kind of energy here. And we also had the High Priestess. It's just really connecting with your intuition, really appreciating where you are, being okay with the mysteries of things coming in, and being confident. But this is about connecting with intuition for me. And the Chariot, there's something coming in, and it's time to charge. There's this progression or advancement. There's something, it's coming in fast. Whatever this energy is coming in really fast for you. And this is also illuminating. If you look at the card, it's just very illuminating and very vibrant type of energy. It's also a 7, which is all about a renewal period, intuition, deeper inner wisdom, happiness. So it's really good. And the moon in reverse, which is about releasing fears that no longer serve you anymore, connecting with your intuition. I don't read these in reverse really, but I don't know. There's just so much coming in, and it's just a matter of like really connecting with it and making sure that that's kind of where you want to be, and having gratitude, holding space for yourself, and really allowing all of this new energy to really shift your consciousness a little bit, and going through this transformation of the Death card and really seeing what is coming out when this transition happens, this transformation happens. So in the final outcome, or the outcome of this, we have the 6 of Pentacles. So this to me is like all about charity. Are you the giver, or do you need to be, or the receiver? Or do you need to be given to? Who are you, and what is there? Are you lacking at one or the other of giving charity or giving, or are you lacking on receiving? Because there is a fine balance, a yin and yang pattern here when it's, in Reiki we have the Reiki triangle, and it's give a session, get a session, give to yourself, give to someone else, and receive one. And because it's going full circle, like when somebody gives, and that was interesting. Somebody fell. When they give, and then they don't receive, that's a karmic. That's not an energy that is flowing properly karmically. There's a stagnation or a deficiency on one end. And there's not this beautiful flow of give and take. We need to have both. So what this is asking you is like, where are you in the spectrum? Are you one who gives all the time and doesn't receive? Are you not getting your needs met, with that? Or are you the other one who's constantly taking and not giving, not giving enough to really, have this beautiful balance, this energy, this yin and yang energy, And it's also about seeing seeing light at the end of the tunnel. It could be financial gain, or financial security, or finances like kind of being even and out here too. I see. Could be work because of COVID for some of you. You know, maybe you're for some. I just see for some of you that you'll be receiving some financial investment, but this also could mean energetics to me too. And I see that because of the way that the card it's not always about money. It's materialistic things, but it's also about human, like physical. You know, so it could be exchange of energy too. Like, are you giving constantly to somebody's energy? Are you constantly being the shoulder that people lean on? Or are you getting that back at all? Are you releasing things from the emotions? You know, for some, I think that is more about listening more than receiving. You know, I think that we need to maybe for the new moon give a little bit more, because I feel like what you put out is what you get back. So the more we give, the more we get. And I think that's a beautiful exchange if you keep, but don't expect things just because you're doing them. Don't expect it to come back that way or the same way or at all. Because when we give, we're supposed to give from the heart, not to expect something in return. So that's how it's supposed to be. I'm not saying that's how it is, but so that's what the Six of Pentacles is for me. I think that it's like there's light at the end of the tunnel for some of you financially, and just see where you are, you know, what you're lacking on either end, and making sure that there's a fine balance of that coming in for the new moon and blossoming. This is a 6, which is a deep emotion, romantic emotions. This could be falling in love with yourself and really connecting with yourself, these deep emotions, compassion for yourself, or it could be for someone else, you know, humanity, for instance. But there's a sense of like, I feel like there's a sense of all of these seeds that you've planted are now blossoming and coming towards you. And I think that the reason why the Six of Pentacles is with this, in my opinion, is because there's a sense of this even balance of things. Yes, we're blossoming. Things are coming to fruition. Things are growing. All of these plants are finally blossoming. And you're seeing all of this hard work being paid off for the most part, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. But it's also asking us to reflect and make sure that it's an even exchange of give and get. So this is a reminder about this blossoming outcome here, which is this is all about releasing and taking in, and all these things come, you know, transition and new things coming in, and really submerging yourself into the next adventure or like potential, and knowing that you can create things that you want to create for the new moon. This is saying resting and sitting in this quiet space, in this hermit mode, in this hanged man mode, seeing things from a different perspective, might connect you to the imbalance here of receiving and giving, energetically or financially. Doesn't matter. So I think that is a really beautiful outcome and contemplation here of a new moon energy. I love this reading. I'm going to pull one more for this outcome. Create, nurture the creative energy. It is all about stuff, you know, like the Knight of Wands. This is all about creative potential here. The death is about transformation into something new, and when something dies, there's a rebirth, and then there's like connection to that rebirth, you know, really getting to know that rebirth. And it can be being creative in ways to nurture this energy coming in, really allows us to have more of a say in how it's coming to us and how it manifests itself. We have the capability as humans to create whatever we want to create. We just don't usually believe that we can. But if we can release this stuff and be creative with this energy coming in from all of these things that we've been planting, it's already blossoming now. It's already coming to fruition at the end of this new moon. You have such potential to do whatever you want to do with this energy. It's up to you on how much work you want to put into it. You've done a lot of work already, and you're in, like, this is a time of reflecting and chilling. But come forth more towards this, you know, full moon and just the end of the month. Just start believing that you can manifest this stuff, you know, on a faster scale too, not just manifesting it as a whole. Like, we have the power to create this stuff. So I'm going to do, if I can see them before, I don't know where my self-care cards are. They might not be here. Oh, they're right here. I always like to pull self-care cards, so I'm going to pull a couple for the collective, for the new moon. You can take it or leave it. I just think it's fun. Also, if you like this channel and or this video, if you can like and subscribe, I would really, really appreciate the support. The likes and the subscribes keeps these channels relevant, so it's really important. If you are interested in doing that, for anyone that you see on YouTube, that's how the channel grows. So appreciate it. Let me see. This is for new moon energy, July 9th, 2021, please. New moon, July 9th, 2021. Whoa. All right. I'll take this one too. Spend time with friends. Isn't that the truth? Energy work. We all need some energy. So spend time with friends, doing some tarot or doing something fun, lightening up all of the load, spending time with family or your chosen family. For some, doesn't have to be blood. Nourish your temple is a really big one. This is about being in hermit mode and Hanged Man, just nourishing your thoughts, nourishing your food, like with food, thoughts, things, cleansing, cluttering, decluttering, that kind of stuff. Music. I've been listening to a lot of drumming, a lot of international stuff. I've been really getting into this like trance state. So maybe I don't know why it's coming up. Maybe somebody needs to hear it about doing some like shamanic drumming or, international stuff that has a lot of drumming in it. Hydrate. This is also connecting with your emotions, your intuition, and also water. Just making sure that your temple is nourished. Meditating. Drinking tea, it's a lot of water stuff, and journaling, which we've already talked about. Meditation, I think that most of you have been in that meditation state and ready to come out, but for a lot of you, hermit mode now, that's maybe bringing into a meditative state. Drinking tea, I've been drinking a lot of tea lately. Nourishing your body more, and journaling, a gratitude journal, like we talked about, or something that you want to manifest. I hope this resonated. I will see you, hopefully, not promising, but I will see you for the full moon. Take care, everyone. Have a great new moon. Hopefully, a lot of amazing things will start to manifest for you after that, and I will see you soon. Take care.